great to have you back here. Healing Journeys today comes with these lunch breaks. So maybe you're having lunch, maybe you're not. It doesn't matter. But thank you so much for being here with me. And I'm talking about a topic that I don't really talk about, but I felt compelled to talk about this, and we're talking about loneliness. And it's something that I have experienced so many times. And there can be different types of causes. So maybe people were, born and then they were given up for adoption. What I see a lot of times is that they can feel that type of loneliness even within the adopted family, even though the family gives them love, if it's just a great situation, there's still this sense of not belonging. Like there's this loneliness, this isolation. And you might say that's not loneliness, Cindy, but the feeling of loneliness is there because they cannot align with the people. So here's the thing is that within loneliness, I always see it like, you got groups. So you got loneliness, solitude, rejection, feeling unwanted. It's like this whole group, this gang. You can see it like that. And I've been through that, and I know that a lot of people, they have that. So you might be, at your job, but you are like a misfit. So you don't really belong there. That's how you feel. It might be really like that you're mistreated. So you feel unwanted. And then there's this feeling of loneliness because, what am I doing here? They don't even want me here, those type of things. And just recently, it just dawned on me. I had it happen like twice. And I was like, within a group of people, there were so many people there. And, but this was not my line of work. So I was just seated there as, the biggest nobody, just to say it like that. And I was just, wondering and looking around like, hey, you can really feel lonely in a group of so many people. And it's not that people are that rude or, like that, but because you are there and you're not in their line of work. So it's like, they don't have anything to talk to you about. Or maybe they can, but they just don't. And then, because there's, what are we going to talk about? And I was just thinking about that, and that's when I understood something, that even when you can be in a group of people, you can be within your church, within your cell group, within your praise and worship team, within your team, within your home and your family, that feeling might be there, and no one knows because we cannot look into hearts. Only Papa God knows. So also, I'm doing this topic. I don't know why, but Papa God knows, and it will reach the right people, and then they will understand it and get out of that situation. So last time I showed you that what loneliness actually is. So loneliness is sadness because one has no friends or company, or a place, the quality of being unfrequented and remote, isolation. So that's actually a few definitions of loneliness. There's so much more. But now I want to take you to this definition. And I know it's not exactly the same, but when you're in a group of people or even your own family, there are people, you feel like the black sheep of the family. So there are more people around, but you still feel that sense of loneliness, like you don't belong. So let's look at the word misfit. And it says here, a person whose behavior or attitude sets them apart from others in an uncomfortably conspicuous way. Is that how you say that? It's something that does not fit. So a person who's not easily accepted by other people, often because their behavior is very different from that of everyone else. Now, when you read this, you're like, oh, Cindy, are you telling me that I'm just no good? That I should be different? No. That's not what I'm talking about. Listen to this. someone who's not suited to a situation or who's not accepted by other people because their behavior is strange or unusual. Well, where I want to take it is, even in Christian circles, I might be like a misfit because maybe I'm talking about something that others are not talking about, or I do it in a way that others are not doing it, or I don't look the same as everyone else, or, you know, so it can be all those type of things as well, and you can feel very alone. So I remember that there was this time, and Papa God, he asked me, can you please start a church? And I was like, no, I didn't want that. But he wanted that. So I started that. And I really felt loneliness in the sense that I didn't have, you know, like a mentor, someone I could go to and ask questions. And people started saying things about me, that I was this, as a woman, you should not do that, and you're unmarried, how dare she, and just like witchcraft and all those type of things. But just beautiful things started happening within the church, and it was just like, wow. It was like, I know this is the Lord's doing, this is not me. But that sense of loneliness, that sense of feeling like a misfit, I did not fit in. I just did not fit in the way it should be, the way people want it to be. And I was like, Papa God, are you sure? You know? And that feeling of being a misfit, I also had as a child, because a lot of times I just saw it. Maybe I was just a little bit odd. That might be the thing. But I was this quiet child. So I didn't really fit in. I would also play, but I could also just be quiet, and it's still like that. So I can be really out there, you know, but I can also be very quiet. You know, I love to read and those type of things. And so I felt like a misfit. I felt like I did not belong. And there was this story, and the story was the ugly duckling, because I also felt to me, and I'm talking about feelings. So I'm not saying it was like that. I felt that way. So there was this story, you know, the ugly duckling. And I loved that story because the ugly duckling became a swan. And I always loved that. I was like, oh, yeah, great. I just love that story. And then one day, my big brother, he came into, we were in a different house than the house we grew up in, because the house was being renovated. So we were in a different house, and he came into that living room. And he looked at me, he said, you really love the story of the ugly duckling. And I'm like, yes, I love that. And then he was like, do you know you're like that ugly duckling? Okay, thank you. But, you know, I know what he meant. I always felt ugly, like I was, you know, the ugliest thing on the planet. But there were reasons why I felt like that. And then he said, but do you know you will grow up and be this beautiful princess? I can really cry very loud right now, because his words, I was looking at him like, where's he going with this? And 2 weeks later, he passed. You know, he went home to be with the Lord, and it was not a great, it was terrible. You know, we were like always together, you know, best friends. We could also, you know, be each other's enemy, in the sense that he could do stuff like a big brother, you know, and I was like a little sister. But we were always together. We went through things together. He was like the one who was always helping me. And then his words came back, you know, after he died. I was like, did he see something? What did he know? And then I grew up, and I still had the same feeling that I'm the ugliest thing, you know, like that. But then I met someone. And you might think, who's Cindy? I know. And I'm going to talk about that person. I met the person, Jesus. I can really cry now. Because he was the one, he just accepted me. And I was accepted in the beloved. Let's go there. I wanted to go to another scripture, but let's go to the book of Romans. And it's always the word that gets me out, because he is the word. Sorry, the book of Romans. I'm in Ephesians. I was thinking about something else. And it's really always the word. And it says here in the book of Ephesians chapter 1, verse 6, to the praise of the glory of his grace, by which he made us accepted in the beloved. You know, I always felt like a misfit. It didn't matter where I was. There was this feeling of being a misfit, not belonging, not suitable, I was just, you know, not it. There was always someone else better than me, or, you know, those type of questions, things. And then I read this, by which he made me, because I make the scripture very personal, accepted in the beloved. Are you kidding me? I'm accepted in the beloved, and I knew who the beloved was, Jesus. And he just accepted silly, normal, simple old me, you know, like I always felt so ugly, and now he just accepts me. And a lot of times there are so many people walking around, even in churches, and they're smiling, you know, hey, good morning, God bless you. And they're, you know, all, you know, and in their household, and they do stuff, and they got their kids, and they got their, but on the inside, they feel like a misfit. They feel like they don't belong. Let me give you the best of the best group to join. You are accepted in the beloved. When you join, he has already accepted you. You know, it doesn't matter what you look like, your background, your color, your height, your weight, your whatever you've done in the past, you are accepted in the beloved. And just by me just, you know, repeating it, repetition, reprogramming, there came this different type of a program playing, different type of tape, you know, playing in my tape recorder, because now I was accepted in the beloved. And just a funny story that I went through this divorce, and everyone went with him, believed him. No one believed me. Nothing that I said, they just did not believe. And there were just a few. And they did not believe my children. Up till this day, there are people not believing what we've been through, and we've been through horrible things. It was just, yeah, it was terrible. My kids as well. And I remember that I'm living here, and there's this window, you know, I got a kitchen, and the table where we ate at was facing that window. And then you can see people pass by like that. And then there was this couple living across the street, and that's where they still had their Bible study, and that's where he still came. And we saw people, you know, going there, passing by our house, you know, going there. And my son said, hey, isn't that your best friend? And I was like, yeah. Is she coming to us? But nope, the best friend also went there. And eventually some of them saw the truth and saw how the person really was. But at that day, it hit me that I was like this misfit again. I did not belong. I wasn't suitable for, you know, and I wasn't, you know, it was there. Everything just came back, that misfit feeling, not belonging. And then, you know, I started crying, because I was like, and there I am, just alone again, you know, a misfit, not belonging. And then I heard Jesus speaking to me. He said, why are you crying about them? He said, do they have a throne? And I was like, no, none of them. He said, because if they have made it themselves, or, you know, he said, but I'm seated on the throne, and I'm here with you. Oh, because I'm accepted in the beloved. And I just forgot that. And that's why I started crying. And then I kept on repeating that I, Cindy, am accepted in the beloved. Now, can you do something for me? Don't just listen to this lunch break. Now you say it. You place your name in it. You, and then you say your name. So he's going to say it like this. I, say your name, am, that means present tense, right now, and forever will be, accepted in the beloved. And the beloved is seated on a throne. is the most VIP person in the whole wide world. I don't care what people say. And that's Jesus. Okay. Bye-bye.